cybernetic warriors do not intimidate me.
Say that when you're face down.
Begin.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back, and today we're going to be answering the question, are 2020 TVs worth the wait? And we're going to be doing a weekly roundup of all the tech news that we have found. So far in 2020, we know there are quite a few models coming out from Vizio, Hisense, and TCL that are going to, again, capitalize on the budget market. And I think those TVs might be worth the wait if you're looking for budget TVs. For example, the Hisense H9F I know is really hard to find, so you probably are better off waiting for this year's successor. Now, when you're talking about Vizio TVs, you can only hope that they deliver a good television. I mean, we don't really know yet, but I'd say it might be worth the wait if they could figure out how to get their motion correct. There's always hoping for that, and the same can be said for TCL. When we get to Sony and Samsung side of things, I don't really know if they're worth the wait because they haven't really talked about much. Excuse me here. And for those that are wondering, I have been literally sick as a dog all day. I was on medication and I've been knocked out literally all day. Very strong stuff. And I'm literally like just waking up now, like just completely discombobulated. So if I sound out of it, I cough occasionally, do bear with that because I am human. And you're going to see me, again, just being me, breaking the fourth wall here, as human as can be, right? But back on topic here, when we were talking about, again, these TVs and if they're worth the wait, I know a lot of you guys are looking to buy now. I would say if you're looking to buy, don't buy until, I would say, spring, because even if you're trying to buy a 2020 models launch, right? They're going to go through clearance. They're going to try to get their inventory out. You want to make sure that you're doing everything you can to just save and just hold off, right? Because your prices will go back down to like Black Friday prices once you get like the end of, I guess, life cycle clear out event. So just be on the lookout for that because they are going to happen. Now, in terms of overall news that we've received, Hisense is walking back their claim now of being able to solve the burn-in crisis, right? No shock there. Apparently now they're running with the dual cell technology, and they believe that that holds a better value to the customer versus OLED, and they want to start showing that off. I mean, we'll see how long that lasts. I mean, I don't know. It just seems very disorganized if you ask me. Now, when we're talking about other news, Microsoft is, again, just doubling down. They are not going to be supporting next generation exclusives for the Xbox Series X. And I told you guys, do not buy Series X. It is garbage, it is trash. And I'm going to just say it like this. The Xbox Series X is trash because it is the latest reiteration of their box, but it is not the latest generation of ecosystems. They're not going to be making an entirely new ecosystem of games. You are literally playing the same thing you could play right now on your Xbox One, One X, and this list goes on and on. So if you bought one of those devices, great. They try to treat it like PC. It's good for the gamer in that sense, but also bad because if you're expecting that new hardware to be optimized, their focus is on creating more of an ecosystem like Apple and all those other things, and PC, and, you know, branching out. They're trying to be the Netflix of gaming with Game Pass, and they don't really care about anything else in between. So that's the kind of information that I kind of took from that. In other news, as we cover things like politics, which I know people don't like, obviously we saw what happened with Trump and the whole impeachment thing starting, so that'll be exciting to see how that rolls out over the next couple of weeks to see what goes on with that. I mean, in my personal opinion, for anybody wondering, whether you wonder or not, I'm still going to tell you because, you know, my channel, my thing. I personally think the whole impeachment thing is a bit of a circus. I think it's just kind of convenient placing so that they can re-elect themselves next year. Hopefully it doesn't turn into that, which it already is, but we'll see how that plays out. And other news, there's a lot of car companies kind of unveiling cars and like different like prototypes and things that will never come to market, so I don't really cover a lot of that stuff. And all in all, it's been a very slow but I guess mildly busy week. We've had the release of Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, so that was interesting for some people. I feel like that game is complete and total trash because it is basically Dragon Ball Saga's remastered. I mean, anyone who's ever played that game, you kind of know how that played out. This is kind of like a rehash of that, just on a more expansive scale for next generation. So if you like Dragon Ball Z Saga, it's great, but otherwise this game is pretty limited, and I feel like it's lazy because the kind of lack of effort they put into like the cutscenes and transitions and all that stuff really did play a big role into that. And that has been the weekly roundup for the most part. Now, welcome back to everyone who did stop by. What's going on, Brett? You said, hell yeah, appreciate the hard work. Excuse me here. I appreciate that as well. Aaron, what's going on? You said, hey buddy, hope all is well. Unfortunately, I am doing quite awfully today. I am sick. Elias, what's going on? You said, greetings, gentlemen. What's going on, man? And we've got Stanley. You said, sup, QA. And what's going on, everybody? So it's going to be a really, really short live stream today. I'm coming on like super duper after the fact. I was supposed to do it obviously at 7, but there was no way I was going to do that. I needed to take my medication, and I have been out for literally all day, as I mentioned earlier. So as more people do come on, as we are watching, I do appreciate that. And if you've got questions while you have me on, just make sure you're just grabbing me and, you know, throwing those questions out there, because I will be ending this live stream really crazy early. Because again, I'm not doing so well today. Today, excuse me there, guys. You guys can probably hear that. I'm doing really awful. So I'm just trying to at least answer whatever questions I can while you guys have me here. So we've got Enoch. You said, I know that not only you cover TVs, other stuff. I wonder if you'll do soundbar reviews. I am planning to do, I guess, more in the spectrum of audio eventually. It's just right now, it's all about budget and funding, right? So the current status of the channel is I've only got enough financials allocated for like a handful of TVs, so I have to be very careful which ones I choose and, you know, things like that, because I usually end up having to eat this stuff off as a loss when I do sell it. Usually on Let Go or like Craigslist or something like that, you have to sell it, because 9 times out of 10, obviously you can try to return and exchange it, but there's only a certain number of times you can do that. You know what I'm saying? So just breaking the fourth wall. This stuff is very expensive to buy out of pocket. There's just no way I'd be able to cover a full spectrum of products because I'm not sponsored. So I know that that's always been a question. Are you going to do monitors? Are you going to do more games, more movies? I mean, there's just so many things to cover, right? I think the problem that I face is that, again, I'm not sponsored. I'm not, you know, doing what some other channels are doing, where I buy up a bunch of views that are impossible to get at my current level. FOMO, I'm calling you out on that. And then just pretending like I'm never having a bad day on YouTube so I can become the next AV shill. I mean, it's the same thing that we've always been dealing with. This industry is very jaded, and unless you sell out, you're not going to get a sponsor, and nobody's going to sponsor a guy that's going to wreck their product if they deserve it. So I think, you know, Enoch, on that front, it's just, we got to be a little patient with what we can get out. I'm not saying that you're impatient, but I do hear you guys when you talk about audio reviews and things like that. It's just, it's a funding issue, right? It's all out of pocket for me, and right now I've got a hell of a lot of medical bills that I've got to attend to. So, you know, just hang on and, you know, see what we can do, right? Fingers crossed. But I appreciate all that, man. Eminem, you said, hey, Q, do you think the 950G will go lower than its current price of $13.99 by Super Bowl? It's a possibility. They usually do lower the prices quite substantially, actually, towards Super Bowl. I would say your best bet, honestly, though, is once the new models launch, these retailers get stupid desperate to get rid of these TVs, and they just start doing dumb shit, like just throwing out like the most valuable TVs even at the lowest prices. They just get rid of everything. So I would definitely wait if you can on that one, because you can get a good deal. What's going on, Achilles? Thank you so much for being a member of the channel. It really does help fund the channel. As you know, we aren't sponsored, so again, I really do want to give you a shout out, and I appreciate you taking the time to do that for us. You said, what's up, Big Ois? You said, keep up the good work, QA. And you said, get well soon. I appreciate that. I really do, man. Jesus Christ. I hate this. All right. I want to give a big shout out to Ross as well. You said A8G or H9F. You said A8G or H9F. Would you go with for the other, or one or the other, or something like that? I'm reading terribly, I know. You said already bought the Q8FN. How many years do you think until it'll actually be worth buying an 8K TV? Reason You're asking is because you'd like to go bigger than 75. I think until they start actually making the first Blu-ray players for 8K and supporting the first 8K movies and things like that, genuinely 8K movies, then you can maybe start to have an argument that 8K is a little relevant, because then you can have content pieces to buy for it. As far as which one's better, the A8G or the H9F, it boils down to you as a person and what you need it for. Though I'll be very transparent. If I had the ability to get the A8F, or I'm sorry, the H9F over the A8G when I was looking, and the H9F wasn't sold out, I would have an H9F right now. But the reality is it just wasn't available. It was super short-handed around the holiday times when I was looking, and I was kind of stuck, and I ended up doing this. But ultimately, I would have had a HiSense if I had the choice in the matter, outside of, you know, things being sold out, the availability thing and all that. In terms of the A8G, I think is a great TV. I think it's wonderful, but there are some problems with it. It's built like crap. It's built way cheaper than a Hisense H9F. I mean, and that's just disgusting from Sony. It comes with a garbagely cheap remote. If you're using it mainly for football and a little bit of gaming, I would say this is not a good gaming TV at all. The input lag is terrible. As far as football goes, it's probably not going to be too brilliant for that either, because there is motion artifacting that you'll run into. The Hisense H9F is better for motion on a granular scale, and that's just being as honest as I could be about that. Now, that being said, the picture looks fantastic on the AAG, and you have some nice three-dimensional depth and draw that you'll get out of that image quality, but ultimately, there's just so much that goes into it, you know. So I hope that was a little helpful, but that's what I would do. Now, as far as again, just upgrading from your 75-inch Q8FN, I would hold off on that. I really would, because I don't think it's necessary right now. I think the technology is about the same until, again, they start offering that media content. So hope that was helpful, Ross. And shout out again for being a VIP member. It really does help out. And a big shout out to Mickey Conway. You said, I finally made a live stream on time. I'm 8 minutes late, but it's the earliest I've been. I mean, I just got here. Excuse me. Barely got here too. I mean, I've been sick all day. So, you know, I've been knocked out on pain meds, so I see exactly what you're talking about, but I'm glad you're here, man. You said, what type of TV resolution would be good for PS5, 4K TVs, or 8K TVs wanting to get a smart TV for PS5? I would say don't get an 8K TV. PlayStation 5 is not going to support native 8K. The best thing you're going to do is have some form of GPU upscaling if you're lucky. I don't really think that's the case. I think maybe they'll use something like the Xbox One S did, where it just simply upscales by forcing the resolution and overstretching the picture size, which is less than ideal. There's just no way on this earth that you're getting 8K in a PlayStation 5 true native 8K. It's just the technology we have today doesn't support that. Our GPUs don't support that, so I really wouldn't go spending a whole lot of money on an 8K TV. A 4K TV would be just fine. What's going on, Healthful Servant? You said, shout out for being a VIP member. I do appreciate it. You said, hey, Quantum, sorry to hear you're down. Sucky, hang in there. I appreciate that, man. And Ross, you said, I'm happy with my Q8FN. You said, I'm still waiting for it on a truck in transit. I mean, the Q8FN is one of the best TVs I've ever seen. Still to this day, I think it's absolutely incredible, and I can't say enough about it. I really can't. Eric Lung, you said, is 8K TVs better than 4K if there were I'm sorry, I'm reading this wrong. Is 8K TV better than 4K if we're to buy a 55-inch? No. I mean, I wouldn't buy an 8K TV for a 55-inch screen size, because the resolution is for larger size. So if you need a big size TV, I would say get a 4K TV. Or, I'm sorry, I'm mixing this up a lot. You need a smaller size TV from about, like, you know, 65 inches and lower. I would go with 4K. 75 inches and above, I would go with 8K. What's going on, Paul? You said impeachment is totally bogus, made-up thing. Meanwhile, my 401k stocks have never done so well. Yeah, I mean, I'm inclined to think the same thing. I mean, it's very convenient that, you know, in 2016, when they had the problem with him, and all these other years that he's been president, they didn't do anything with the impeachment thing. And now, as we're getting into the election term, this November's coming up, they're making sure he can't run again to take that option away from the American people, because they know they'll lose. Because the reality is, people don't like these SJW pushes in every corner of our life, at least not where I'm from. And I've talked to many people outside of where I live, and it's the same thing. It's like, it's not a hateful thing to say we're just over it, right? Just, can we all just be freaking Americans again? Like, can we stop this divisive nonsense? And they keep trying to start this weird race war, this hate war. Everything's negative all the time. So I definitely understand where you're coming from with that, Paul. I mean, I just think it's crazy, you know? And of course, I mean, when we talk about other things as well, like, I think it's the same thing with TVs, right? No matter what you talk about, you could talk about a cure for cancer. Somebody's always going to dislike it, right? And I think that's the idea here. It's like, you know, there's always going to be somebody trying to create a bogus narrative, but at least there's people like you and me to see through that BS and do what we do. Brett, what's going on? You said need a 75-inch or bigger, no rush, wait for 2020s. I would definitely see what they have to offer in terms of AK for sure. Enoch, you said I understand. We've got Tommy Boy, you said, so wait to buy a TV for the 2020s and you're putting your money on Hisense for best bang for buck. This year is a little different. I'm not really putting my money on anybody. I think they could all either succeed or fail. I'm opening up and approaching it with a very positive mindset, so I don't really know who will win or who will lose, and I'm not going to make any early determinations, but if I had to guess, I'd say Hisense only because they have a lot of calibration options, but that's from a personal standpoint. And practicality for the normal everyday user, I'm not entirely sure right now. We'll have to see what they do. A big shout out to Marcus. You became a member here of the channel. It means a lot to us. Thank you for being a new member here. I definitely appreciate it. So big shout out to Marcus and welcome to the community here. Silent Wake, what's going on, brother? You said glad to catch a live stream. Hope you're doing well. I'm actually not doing so well today. I've got a nasty cold and I'm doing a little sick with my nerve and all that nonsense. But hopefully I'll get back on my feet real soon here. All right, we've got Raphael. You said, hey, how's it going? It's going, man. Chin2 Pat, what's going on? We've got Eminem. You said, does the 950G 65-inch for $13.99 a good price? I think $13.99 for 65-inch 900 or 950G is a bit much. Reason being, going into, again, those holiday sale figures that we're going to see come spring when they're clearing out these you know, TVs, and maybe even going up to Super Bowl when they like to lower prices again, it may possibly drop even lower than that. And I just, that just seems a little high for that kind of TV's performance. So I would definitely try to find a better deal if you can. It's not terrible. If you didn't want to wait, you might not necessarily have to wait on that, but I don't know. I just couldn't tell you that that's like the greatest deal out there, if you know what I mean. Shamar, what's going on, man? You said I want the Sony Z9G 85-inch, but the price point would be 6K tops. Yeah, that's a lot of money, man. I mean, that's just too much money to be spending on a TV. You said 6K, man. You know, you could buy yourself a really nice used car for 6K, bro. Like, that's crazy. I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't do it. You were braver than me, man. Most definitely braver than me. Not only would I kill myself, but my wife would kill me. You know, there's no way. There's no way. 6K. Crazy. Some decent options. We've got, I'm going to mess this up. Kobe 24. See, I already messed it up. It's Kobe Forever. There you go. I always get messed up when you guys put numbers in there. Or Kobe 24, or Kobe 2 Forever. I don't know. You said, what's the best TV when on a budget? Right now, that's going to be the Hisense H9F by default. Until the new replacement for that happens, then that would probably be my next go-to thing if the performance is as good or better. If it gets worse, then obviously I'll rail Hisense for it when the time comes. You guys know how I do. But ultimately, for budget TVs, that's just kind of like my no-brainer thing. And if you're on a mega budget, the H8F, because, I mean, really, for that price point, it is a no-brainer. Shamar, you said, get well soon, Q, praying for a speedy recovery. I appreciate that. Shout out to AP the Shooter for being a VIP member here. You know, it really does help out, guys. I see all you members here coming in, and I do see you guys. If you guys, again, I know you guys you guys like supporting the channel and helping out, but there's more than that. You know, you guys do have priority communication, so if you need to contact me for something, just make sure you're reaching out. You know, request a phone call or rather a text message. We could converse that way, or whatever the case may be. I mean, I know a lot of you guys have questions with how to get better picture settings, even on TVs you've had for years and years. Don't be afraid to inbox me, you know, your settings for your picture quality and all that you have right now on your TV, and I'll be able to help you optimize that stuff. I know I say it a lot, but I really mean that, because I've only had like a handful of the members take me up on that, and really, like, I will help as many of you guys out as I can, so just be mindful of that. We've got, let's see. We've got AP the Shooter said, hey Q, feel better bro. You said, my bro wants a Vizio. Are there any good ones this year? I think there will be some good ones this year. I have my eye on the mid-range one, right? I'm looking at the Vizio P-Series Quantum, just the regular P-Series Quantum, not the X. I think that, like, usually when you go like to their ultra high end, they try to gimp some things. Usually when you go to low end, they gimp too much. But right there in that middle range, that's the sweet spot for Vizio. We'll see if that still holds true this year. But I don't know. Possibly. That might be a good investment to make. Silent Wake, you said, glad to catch the stream. Hope you're doing well, brother. I think I already got some of these. So if I read your messages twice, I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to read everybody here. But it lags and it goes all out of order. It's very weird for me, actually. What is the biggest size for 4K? Will 65 inches be good? Yeah, I would go to 65 for 4K. That's fine. Excuse me, guys. I've been holding that one in for a while. We've got... I'm waiting to... I'm sorry, he said, I'm waiting to wait for the Hisense H9G to wait for reviews, but what size should I get when Hisense H9G comes out? Well, I would say don't get anything less than 65 inches, because the lower you go, the zone count's going to decrease with that. So just be mindful of. Jacob, you said, can I have the calibration settings for the H9F after the firmware settings? Yes, all the settings are available. They are exclusive to members here on the channel. So just make sure you hit that join button and you'll be able to get access to that. It'll be in the TV settings playlist. And what's going on, Chin2 Pat? You said we are going to have a Super Bowl in 4K this 1 year. I guess I don't really watch the Super Bowl, to be honest with you. Never really got into that kind of stuff. I got into contact sports like UFC, and even that I just casually pop in. I couldn't tell you like any of the guys' names that don't like really make a whole bunch of headlines. We've got Jacob, you said, please can I have said calibration settings? I think I answered that one. We've got Eminem, you said, Q, do you have the 950 picture settings for your members? I do. I have them. It's lumped in with the 900F comparison that I did, but I do have some settings that I do have. Nothing, though, extremely comprehensive. I mean, because for the most part, the picture settings were what they were. It wasn't fantastic. Big shout out to Silent Wake for your donation of $4.99. It really does help, man. On top of being a member, you're showing your love, you're supporting the channel even more. You're a rock star. I see you, man, and I definitely appreciate it. So seriously, I want to thank you for helping out. You said, sending support, brother. Get well, take care of yourself. I'm really trying here. You said, my 2 kids and I had to battle with stomach virus over the last week. Not fun, lol. Yeah, I don't know what it is with 2020, but it's been a crappy year for sickness, man. I'm talking about from hospital visits to now I've got whatever this is, and then my nerve damage is acting up. It's not good, man. It's just not good at all, but I do thank you, man. I really do appreciate it. We've got Neil Fox, what's going on? You said hello Quantum, what's going on? Nothing much, man. Just trying to get over the sickness and feeling like garbage. You said the Trump impeachment is a bunch of BS. It really is, though. I mean, I mean, whether you love the president or hate him is irrelevant. At the point that they're going this far out to stop American voters from voting for Trump, because let's kind of call it what it is. That's what it is. It's the end of the year. You know, we're getting ready to go into the voting cycle. They know what they're doing. It's all very coincidental, and it really made me angry. I'm not gonna lie, as an American citizen, to watch Nancy Pelosi up there like smirking, grinning from ear to ear. She's signing this stuff and she's talking about impeachment is forever, and she's like so happy about this. And I'm like, you're impeaching your president, maybe be a little unbiased about it, you know? So there's no way the trial's going to be fair at all. I already smell some foul play with it in there. I don't know, it was just, the whole thing is a circus. I'm just over it. I just wish we could just, again, just be American. You know, just your country, your people, you're talking about a coming together and a unity thing, and it just seems like with this impeachment thing, they're just like, they divide everybody, you know? And it's just like, they're very negative, and I don't know, I just think it's crazy, man. So I wanted to make sure that I at least covered the fact that it's happening, because I'm gonna 100% guarantee you not very many people will even mention it. We've got Jacob. You said we'll donate for answer. For the settings, I don't have the settings on hand. I don't even have a way to send it to you in a way that would be helpful for you. The best thing I have is a link, but you couldn't do anything with the link because it's only accessible via members. You don't have to donate or anything like that. The only thing you have to do to gain access to it is to join and become a member, and then you get access to those settings. But trust me, it's there. If you need, like after you become a member, I can send you the direct link, but that's basically the best I have for you, Jake. You've got Chino's WTF. You said, is a Q8FN good enough for the PS5? Yeah, absolutely. It's a great TV. Over 1900 nits. I mean, it's a fantastic TV as far as input lag and gaming features. You're gonna have AMD FreeSync technology. The PS5 is gonna be running on AMD architecture, so you're gonna be just fine, dude. Absolutely, man. What's going on, Jacob? You said I just bought the H9F because of your video reviews. Please, where can I find the proper settings too? I like yours. I mean, I can only say it. I mean, I'm not trying to be rude or anything. I can only say it a certain number of times, man. You got to go through the settings on the thing here. You said I'm trying to ask you how to optimize the H9F, and I hear you, man. I got you covered, but you have to do the member thing. That's where I have that. What's going on, Eminem? You said, do you know if Best Buy does the price match for the Super Bowl? I'm not sure about that. If any of you guys working in Best Buy are in the community watching right now, can you let them know if Best Buy price matches the deals for Super Bowl weekend? If he were to buy the 950G RN, I don't know what that means, but hopefully you guys can answer that. Nader, what's going on? You said, when do you think 12-bit TVs will, be available? I don't know. At this point, I am losing faith that they're even going to come out with it before I'm a gray and old man. Will be VIP if you respond. I mean, to optimize the TV, the best settings that I have are in the picture playlist. And you have a bunch of different options. It's just going to depend on your lighting and which one works best for you. Alright, so we have Mickey. You said, or just create a Discord so we can all hang out and chat when no, it's not a live stream day. I don't actually know a whole lot about Discord, to be honest with you, so if you can explain a little bit about how that works, I'm kind of like a dinosaur when it comes to stuff like that, that'd be great, because and anybody wanting to help me start up a Discord or something like that, I don't really know about all that stuff. This social media stuff is all very... Everyone pops up with a new platform, it seems. So, just walk me through that if you can. Newark NJ 360. You said, because of you, I bought the 75-inch Q8FN. Probably the last great 4K TV Samsung made. What do you think? I actually genuinely feel that way. I don't feel like they're going to make another good Samsung TV after that. I feel like now it's just about 99% screen-to-body ratio. But then, like, if you look at a TV like the Samsung KS8000 from 2016, that TV has virtually the same thing they're offering. Damn near no bezels. They've already marketed this tech before. It's, you know what I mean? I don't know. I just feel like it's laziness on their part. We have Mike. You said, hey, greetings, Mike. What's going on? You said, just entered the ring. What's your opinion of the LG C10? I think it's the same really, right? It's the same panel that they've been running. I feel like they're just going to keep pumping out new features, but they're going to keep using the same panel, the same exact design. I mean, their thing that they're selling you is like features, every year features. And for that, the OLED market is so saturated with LG panels, you can grab yourself a C8 or C9 and experience every bit as a wonderful picture as the new LG. And I can almost bet my bottom dollar that there would be virtually no tangible or visually perceptible difference between those TVs, the C8, the C9, if you were to put it up against the C10. I feel like it'd be very difficult for you if you were able to find that. We've got Mike Loris, and you said, or mini LEDs, and not sure about the mini LEDs. And last question of the night, we have I'm gonna mess your name up, so I'm not gonna try it. You said you said I had made up my mind to get the Hisense H9F because of your videos, but I caught the sale, this TCL 625 for under $600, 65-inch. Don't think Hisense is $300 better, and it's hot to death. Thank you, I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to, I guess, disagree there, only because the TCL is that bad for motion. Like, it's terrible. I mean, I don't know, man. Hey, but as long as you're happy with it, that's all that matters, right? That being said, I'll do another live stream obviously next week, and we'll be rounding up next week's news and coverage of everything that just kind of happens in the world. So if there's something not pertaining to TV that you guys want to talk about, don't be afraid to bring it here and talk in a live stream in a real world fashion. This is where we break the fourth wall and where we have conversations as a community, and we just kind of hang out with everybody. So if you guys want to talk about something, I mean, I don't care if you know this one restaurant that treated you like garbage and you want to talk about it. We'll talk about it. All right? Literally, I'm just giving a bad example here, obviously, but I want to hang out with you guys, have a community talk with you guys, and just chill, right? A bunch of dudes just doing dude things, just hanging out, right? All right, so that being said, I will see you guys in the next video that I do put out. God bless you guys. Have a wonderful evening. I'm going to go lay down and try to get better here so I don't sound like Dragon's ass in the next video, but if I do, you know what it's all about. That being said, I want to thank you for watching the #1 brand in honesty, and until the next live stream, I will see you guys later.